Is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Meditation for Beginners. Yesterday, I released a video explaining that we were going to do a 30 to 45-minute thing, and we are. So you should be coming here with a pen and paper and about 30 to 45 minutes of your time. So we're going to go ahead and start by clearing this space. There is a mindset when it comes to self-care. And the mindset is literally giving yourself permission to have this. So we're going to go ahead and push everything aside. Give yourself permission for this space. And then relax, get comfortable. Just some relaxed breathing to start. Do your best to clear your mind. And today we are going to be focusing on grief and working on exercises to open our hearts to accept the grief. And we're going to be getting into a little bit about what causes grief, why we have it, why we get stuck in it, and how to move on from it. Okay, go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. And do a body scan, look for any emotion. If you notice it, write it down. Write down the emotion. Words and emotions are almost identical. They are very, very related. There is almost a maternal relationship between words and emotions, closer than that. Deep breath. Deep breath in. And out. Deep breath in. And out. Today we are talking about grief and sorrow. Grief is actually disbelief. Deep breath in and out. When you are stuck in grief, you are stuck in a place where you are resisting accepting a change. You don't believe it. You don't want to believe it. It is a subconscious defense to prevent a perspective that you don't want. So we get stuck in grief because we don't want to accept. We are rejecting the loss. So when you are dealing with grief, what you need to be focusing on is accepting the belief that there is a change taking place. And as much as we don't want that change, we need to shift our perspective from the negative of the loss over to the positive side. And in the case of death of a loved one, that's really going to be hard. So that's where we focus on instead gratitude. Gratitude is literally the cure to grief. Deep breath in. For music, when you meditate, I strongly recommend the Theta 95 Hertz. This increases your hippocampus 7 minutes a day. And to play it while you meditate, you're basically hitting two birds with one stone. It's a really morbid metaphor, especially for a bird lover. I need to come up with something different. So it's called the theta wave. And if you Google it, you'll find it. It is a phenomenal thing with neuroscience where this hertz, this frequency literally grows your hippocampus. Trauma shrinks the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for emotional mental discipline. It is responsible for logic and reasoning. And the larger the hippocampus, the less your amygdala can misbehave. Let's put it that way. It requires an enlarged hippocampus to discipline the subconscious mind. It requires a large hippocampus to overcome bullshit in your life. So 95 hertz a day, or 95 hertz, that's the frequency. It's called the theta wave, and 7 minutes a day. I always listen to it when I meditate. I put it on first thing in the morning and it stays on all day. Deep breath in and out. And that body scan is just looking for any emotions. If your subconscious mind is wandering, that's perfectly okay. Subconscious minds wander. That's what they do. Do not try and control the subconscious mind. That's not how you deal with the subconscious mind. And repeat after me. Deep breath in, and then I release all that does not serve me. I release all that does not serve me. I release all that does not serve me. Deep breath in. I release all that does not serve me. Okay. Now, box breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Relax. If you're dealing with anxiety, we need to focus on a solution to your problem. What you can do that is in your power to control to change the situation. That is a huge emotion that comes up a lot with meditation is anxiety. And it is simply a belief or a feeling like you lack control of the situation, lack control to change. So by taking control, it shows you that you can control the situation, you can change it, and that releases the feeling of being trapped. Usually, fear is the thing that's keeping you from taking action. You want something, but you're afraid of results if you take action, and anxiety ends up building, so you feel trapped. So, you need to release the pressure on that by taking deliberate action and working with your fear so that you can take deliberate action. Deep breath in. When we receive information that we do not want in the sense of grief, one of the things that we are confronted with is accepting the change, accepting the new perspective. And grief very much revolves around the emotion rejection. We are rejecting the unwanted consequence. We are rejecting the new perspective. We are rejecting the change. The rejection freezes us in the time of loss and keeps us there because you are in the middle of a cognitive core processing. And in the middle of it, as soon as you got to the realization that you were going to suffer a loss, you rejected the belief, and that froze you in time. So grief is literally being frozen and stuck in a loop on the disbelief and rejection. And to break that, you need to accept what you are afraid of resisting, or what it is you are resisting, what you are afraid of accepting. It's an attempt to control a situation by preventing the outcome, but the outcome is deliberate. It's going to happen. But we try and control the outcome by rejecting it, by not believing it. Gratitude absolutely unlocks that. So in a moment here, we're going to cover gratitude journaling, and we're going to start doing some gratitude journaling, because when you start focusing on gratitude, it automatically switches you from thinking loss and scarcity, and it puts you over into abundance, and that releases it. Deep breath in. And when you go through your healing, people experience a lot of loss because of the perspective gaps. Perspective gap is a person, someone you love, is at a certain perspective. The more you grow, the further along the perspective chain you get. And that increases a perspective gap between you and your loved ones. You can only go 3 perspectives or more, and then you lose the people you love, because there is a communication gap that occurs between each and every perspective. So the more you advance and push through your growing, the more likely you will lose people you love, because you lose the ability to communicate and connect with them. So we resist our growth to stay with people we love. But when you decide to be resolved and make and grow, that perspective gap grows. As the perspective gap grows, we lose the people. So grief is a very common emotion when you heal, and dealing with that loss is very common. So we're going to cover that a bit today when we go over our gratitude journaling. Deep breath in. And say, deep breath, and then I release all that does not serve me. Now, when you inhale, instead of saying, I am grateful for, say instead the words, thank you for. Thank you is so much more powerful than I am grateful. So deep breath in, and thank you for whatever you're grateful for. Fill it in. Whatever you decide to fill in and focus on for your thankfulness, say it 3 or 4 times. Just repeat it every time you inhale. And then when you exhale, release. I release all that does not serve me. Thank you for. Take another deep breath in, thankful for. Deep breath in. Okay. When you begin journaling, focus on the words thank you for, and then write it down. As you write it down, really process the emotion in your head. Words and emotions are the same thing. Absolutely dire that you get this into your head, that words and emotions are the same thing. So we're going to use words to create whatever emotions we want. And we're going to start with thank you for. This is manifestation 101. That's what we're actually doing here. We're going to manifest our own health. So thank you for, and write it down. Think about what you want and thank the universe, thank your whatever you've got out there for what it is you want. Even though you might not already have it, thank anyway, say thank you for it anyway. And we're just going to write lines for a bit, about 5 minutes of writing lines, thank you for. This is the emotion appreciation. And that's the emotion we are seeking right now, is appreciation. Appreciation is abundance. Is love, is gratitude. Which is why the words thank you are so powerful for this. Keep breathing. As you feel the emotion fill you, the positive one, exhale and imagine you exhaling out the negative emotions. So you're filling your heart with the thankfulness. Take that in and push it through. Look, every time you inhale, you're pulling the emotion through. When you exhale, you are releasing the negative emotion. Breathing is the art of taking in the positive and releasing the negative. And when you do it mindfully, you're tapping into the energy pool. It's amazing. And you're just cycling through this gorgeous cleanse every time you breathe. So keep writing. Thank you for. Deep breath in. Release all that does not serve me. A few more minutes and then we're going to switch over to I ams. When you write thank you statements or you manifest on things that you regularly manifest on, when you first start doing it, there's an emotion like it's amazing. Once you really become sensitive and tuned into it, you can feel it feels contradictory to your energy inside of you. It might feel weird. That is the contradiction because you're pulling on threads that the universe doesn't have set up yet. But as you keep doing it over time, it gets easier and easier. And the reason why it gets easier is because the universe is literally shifting the energy pool so that the frequency is actually aligning to your wishes and desires, which means it's coming to you. This is amazing shit. So that the more you practice it, the more you're changing and altering the energy flow within you to pull on the energy that's out there. And when you get that going enough, You will start to feel the difference every time you start a new manifestation with thankfulness that you haven't been practicing on. You'll feel, wow, that's way out there and it's colder, it's distant, it's not aligned. And then as you work on it, you will shift the alignment and that's coming to you. That is you literally pulling on the energy threads from the pool so that they align with your frequency. It's absolutely amazing once you really tune into it and you start to feel the shifts. Deep breath in and then out. Couple more. All right, now I am statements. That was the emotion gratitude that we pulled in on. Gratitude accesses abundance and love. Now we're going to focus on the emotion determination. I am statements access the success. It accesses more abundance. It's a different kind of abundance. This is where you get the emotion determination, and it's a dom. It's a resound. It's resolve. It's a resounding definitive. So when you use I am statements, it is a naming. So I am successful. I am healed. I am strong. I am enough. Write down as many positives as you can. I am. Own it. Claim it. This is the declaring. This is why when we manifest, we say, name it, claim it, declare it. What you're really doing, and that's fourth perspective talk for what you're really doing is announcing your determination. But because determination is basically a poor man's word, it's never heard about in the fourth perspective. So what you're actually doing when you manifest is accessing the emotion determination. And you do that through I am. So what are you? Name yourself. It's the naming. Imagine who you want to be and then describe it. I am. Go back to thank you statements. Thank you for my, and all the I am statements that you just made. I am thankful for whatever you are. Or no, I'm sorry. It's thank you for my. Okay. And the last bit of journaling we're going to do is your bucket list. This is the aspiring, and this is the setting the goal, setting the dream. For this one, we're going to literally take a moment and think about what it is you want, where you want to go. And I do mean dream big, go out, be fucking ridiculous with this as far out as you possibly can. Imagine yourself in 5 to 10 years and really tap into the desire I want. And those are the words you're going to use. I want. And go big, $1 million. I want to be a billionaire. Do it, say it, write it. Go big. Do not put a glass ceiling on top of your own head. I want, fill it out as much as you can, as extraordinary as you want. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Deep breath out. Now we're going to change the wants to wills. I will. We're going to take all of our dreams that we just wrote down and we're going to switch them around. So it's I will. Now we're going to take our vision, our aspiration, and we're going to turn our bucket list into an actual to-do list, determination. So we're going to write I will on all of these things that you just wrote down. I will. I will be. I will achieve. I will succeed. Write them all down. Now, what we are doing is actually conditioning our subconscious mind to accept these truths as beliefs. That's what we're doing. And by doing that, we are reversing the polarity of our subconscious mind from negative over to positive. After 30 days of this, it'll automatically be instinctive. But by writing it down and saying it and thinking it, ooh, it's really powerful shit. And then after the I will be, change that over to I am. Positive or present tense, not future, present. Time is a delusion. It doesn't exist. This is the power of a bucket list. Children do this naturally and instinctively. We stop doing it as children because adults condition it out of us, insisting that this is the stuff of children. So we're reversing it. Go back to dreaming. All right, and switch it over to now. I am. Present tense. An action verb is one that is more powerful than a, I don't know the name of it right now. For instance, I will travel the world, or I am traveling the world. You want to say I travel the world. Remove the word am as much as possible. You want the action verb travel, to travel, traveling, instead of I am traveling. So use action verbs. I travel the world as opposed to I am traveling. It's far more powerful. It's far more potent. I travel the world. I live. I do. And this is again accessing the emotion, determination, deliberation, abundance. I have. A few more minutes. And then wrap it up with thank you for. Present tense. So it would be thank you for traveling the world. Thank you for my traveling the world. Thank you for. And you're ending on gratitude again. If you're looking at money, it's I earn whatever money you want to earn. And then switch it over to thank you for. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Stop writing. It's not like a test. You don't have to like drop pen, sit down. It's not like that at all. Just when you're done, finish up. Keep breathing. Keep thinking what you've been writing. I'm going to just sit here for a couple minutes while you guys finish up. Keep breathing. Keep processing it over in your head. And you should be focused on thank you for. Okay, we're going to go back to breathing. Deep breath in. Okay. How do you feel? That is what I do every morning and every night before bed. That is deliberately using cognitive behavioral therapy to condition my subconscious mind into obedience. Our subconscious minds are machines. They're very, very trainable. And unfortunately, when you are not consciously aware of this, the subconscious mind kind of goes off and does whatever the hell it wants to, because it is an undisciplined child at the wheel playing with the ship. By becoming consciously aware and stepping into the responsibility, by writing all of this stuff down, it completely takes basically the helm of your ship and it steers it in a very deliberate direction. Now, what you were also doing was tapping into your identity. Everything you wrote down, your thankfulness, your dreams, your aspirations, your desires, your determination, your naming, I am, all of that is 100% your identity. So when we are abused, that's all the stuff that's taken away from us. By reaffirming all of this, it sets a compass, sets a heading, defines a direction and a location, and now you know where you're going. It's absolutely determined, deliberate, and now it's defined. Now, when you sit down and you couple it with the breathing, and then you put all of these statements into your head, it's called cognitive behavioral therapy, where you are literally cognitively redirecting everything that you are wanting. You are taking the path of your subconscious mind's thoughts and you are gently shifting them this way. And you're getting this massive dose of serotonin and dopamine while you do it. So now you've got some really awesome hormones happening in your brain right now. Deep breath in and out. Doing this every day absolutely restructures the way your brain is. It restructures everything. It is not possible to think negatively when you do this consciously after a certain period of time. After 40 days of my doing this, I found out, this is extraordinary, subconsciously, I cannot think a negative thought. And that is going to happen to you because you condition it out of your mind. So when I sit down to, if I have a bad day and I sit down to write a letter to my partner to say, wow, this is what happened today, I can't. My subconscious mind immediately interrupts and redirects my thoughts. So I'll write, and you can't vent. You are literally incapable of venting. Every time you complain or you vent, you're actually subconsciously doing this, but you're doing it negatively. This is why trauma dumping, emotional flooding, shadow work is toxic, because you are actually conditioning your mind to think negatively, which worsens the situation because you are training yourself to be afraid and to fear disappointment. This is why shadow work is so toxic. This is why I don't teach it and I don't do it. It's because you are actually conditioning your mind to be negative. And when you condition it to be negative, you condition it to attract trauma. So we're going to reverse it using this self-care system. It takes 40 to 45 minutes every day. Again, I do this every morning and every night. I really strongly recommend you do the same, because when you do this before bed, what's amazing is at 3 a.m., when the energy shifts and the veil is the thinnest, that is when your subconscious mind wakes up. Your subconscious mind never goes to sleep. It stays up all the time. When you go to sleep, when the conscious awareness shuts down, that's when the subconscious mind wakes up, puts on gloves, and goes to work. And it processes everything you did that day into your brain. So when you spend 40 minutes before bed doing this kind of meditation and journaling, you're actually putting data into your subconscious mind as if you're saying, okay, here's the roster, subconscious mind. This is what you need to process. You go to sleep, and this is what your subconscious mind is going to process. So at 3 a.m., you're going to wake up. This is amazing. After 30 to 40 days of this, your subconscious mind will wake you up and you will feel positive. You will feel this surge of, I can do anything. It's extraordinarily powerful. Now, when you couple this with that 95 hertz of your theta wave, you're growing your hippocampus at the same time, which really is putting all of this into place. It is some powerful fucking shit. It's amazing. Now, when you couple it with one of my master classes, when you couple it with the subconscious discipline, when you couple it with understanding perspective psychology, and you couple it with one of my classes, then everything turns on. Your subconscious mind submits. Your fear system shuts down. Your mental illnesses go away. Because those things require negativity to enable them. So when you switch everything over to positivity, they don't work because you have literally starved the environment that enables those things to exist. Fear, mental illness, trauma, those things are in an environment that enables them. They require nutrition. Now, you can feed negativity to that kind of an environment, and then it will breed mental illness. You have to nurture your mental illnesses to keep them. And your subconscious mind is programmed to do that naturally through negative thought. So, by changing your negative thoughts over to positive with this kind of a method, you starve your mental illnesses. They can't exist without negative thought. Your mental illnesses cannot exist without the right negative environment with which to nurture them. So we're going to start conditioning your mental illnesses out by changing your mindset over to a positive mindset and starving them. Now, while we do this, this also addresses your fear systems. This also addresses your rogue mind from running off wherever it wants to go. We're going to discipline the subconscious mind with this process. This is how you cure mental illness. You literally starve it out. Shadow work does not work because you are enabling and nurturing the negativity. There's a few other things that's happening there with mental illness when you have to process something. It's a lack of definement. You have to define what did happen to you, and you basically have an invasive perspective that's inside of your own perspective. But this also nurtures your identity, your intuition, and your ego. So while in these classes right now, as I'm explaining all of this to you, you're also gaining conscious awareness. And if you're listening to that gorgeous 95 hertz, you're also increasing your hippocampus. So your ego is now stepping into the role of the captain. We are doing all of this every day for 45 minutes in the morning. And then again, I do it at night. Always do it at night. Like if you have to, do it before bed. If you have to choose one time, if you don't have time in the morning, do it at night before bed. Like make this a part of your routine. Oh my God. Do it before bed. Like if you have to choose. It is more important that you do this before bed than it is for you to do it in the morning. So we're nourishing and nurturing the identity, the ego, and the intuition back into existence. We are soothing the fears and starving out the negative environment that the mental illness requires to thrive. And we are educating the conscious awareness to start to put it back in the driver's seat of your life so that it can start disciplining the subconscious mind. It's simple. You are the mother. The subconscious mind is the child. This is discipline. We don't do this. We're not going to do this anymore. No, that does not serve me. Negative thoughts do not serve you. I can't, that does not serve me. No. We're not going to do that anymore. I will not play this game anymore. That's determination and resolve. That's what you need. So when all of this comes together, that's what we're focusing on. That's what we're building. And that's what we're doing. So I'll be here every morning, 8 to 9. And then again, make the effort to do this before bed. Make sure you have this before bed. Do this before you go to sleep. And if you're tired, do it when you're tired. Do it when you're tired. Write it down. It changes everything. Prioritize this. Be determined because this is reprogramming your subconscious mind to reverse the polarity from negative over to positive. If you need help with shadow work, if you need more, take a look at my masterclasses. This is one of my 3 pieces that you get in my masterclasses. This is what I put my people through. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you want more shit like this, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to get the full starter pack with the healing journey plan included, subscribe to my amphitheater. The link is below. You will get all of this. And if you really want to discipline your subconscious mind, if you want this in a strategically designed layout and format with purpose, take a look at my masterclasses. The links are all down below. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.